All right, welcome back, Truth Seeker. Story starting a minute late here. It is Friday, February 22nd, 2019. We'll go over today's date, numerology, and games, but let's start with a little review. NBA, there were 3 games I said were worth taking a stab at. We ended up being on the right side of all those games, and all the games we had an opinion on, we were actually on the right side of. So I'm hoping the NBA, this is a sign that things are going to get back to the way they used to be. We thought the Cavs had the better numbers to beat the Suns. They did. I said I would stay away from that game, but we figured if there was going to be a winner, it would probably be the Cavs. Couldn't get a read on the Heat 76ers game. There wasn't really anything there to go off of. The Trailblazers had good numbers with the date numerology to win. They did win. But like I said, for 3 weeks prior, date numerology hadn't been working out in the NBA. So I'm still observing. Yesterday was good. Yesterday helped restore some confidence. Yesterday reminded me of the way the NBA had always been until the last 3 weeks. But Trailblazers got it done against the Nets. The Bucks had the better numbers to win at home against the Celtics. Very close game. 2 of the top teams in the East, but Bucks did get the W. Warriors had the 42-2-3-7 thing going, and another close game. So Kings did cover, but Warriors got the W. And the Lakers, we saw the riddle was 17 on the 17 date, span of 59 days from LeBron's injury, 59 the 17th prime versus the Houston Rockets, 59. Lakers got it done. So the 3 games where I thought it was worth a shot, Lakers over Rockets, Warriors over Kings, Bucks over Celtics, that happened. And had we gone with the traditional methods, I would have said take Trailblazers over Nets. They did get it done. And so that was the NBA. So good signs in the NBA coming back from the All-Star break. College basketball, there was only 1 game that we took a stab at. Michigan had good numbers to beat Minnesota, and they did. Michigan got it done against Minnesota. They covered the spread. They kept Minnesota at 17 wins on a 17 date. And they kept Minnesota at 52 series wins on the 52nd day of the year as well. Minnesota equals 52. So that was that. And the NHL, we had our worst day of the week for sure. And that's because the patterns that had been good for us all week, they didn't hit like they had the rest of the week. It wasn't an awful day. We were about 50-50, but we thought the Capitals would stay at 73 points and 73 series wins on the 21st, 73 the 21st prime. That did not happen. Thought the Panthers would get those 62nd points on the 62 date numerology. Hurricanes also 62. That didn't happen. Devils Senators was a stay away from game. Either of these teams could have got 62 points, so we said it was too iffy. I did point out that if the Rangers lost, their record would be 26-26 on the 62-point day, numbers that are reflections of each other. But I said I don't know if it's going to be that way. It did end up being that way. Maybe a note to store away for the future if you see something similar. Maybe somebody going for their 72nd points and their record could be 27-27 or something like that. Sharks-Penguins, another game that didn't go the way we expected. Penguins could have got the 73rd points, stayed at 21 losses, didn't happen. It did go this way for the Canadiens game. So our Philadelphia Flyers read, we expected them to lose the last 2 games, which they did lose, and now they're in perfect shape to pick up their 65th points on February 23rd at home against the Penguins, which is what we expect. So Canadiens went the way we expected. Lightning game went the way we expected. Predators game went the way we expected. Kept the Kings at 52 points on the 52nd day of the year in Tennessee, 52. Blues and Stars, I said there was a chance that blue streak might get ended. You know, wasn't a high confidence pick, but we pointed out how yesterday had 23. Date numerology, the word end equals 23. The Blues could get their 23rd loss. It did happen that way. Islanders, Oilers. Remember, this game was tight. This one was a tough one. Pointing out it was the 78th series game. The Oilers could get their 33rd win in the 78th series game. Oilers equals 33 and 78. New York's also 78. I said it was tough, but I said if the Islanders lost, they'd stay at 35 wins on the 35 dates. And I even mentioned that if they lost in overtime, they'd get to 77 points because New York Islanders equals 77. So it was a tough call there because of the 78 thing. The Oilers probably had the better riddle, and it did end up being an overtime game and overtime loss. New York Islanders 77. They're now at 77 points. Yesterday, somebody pointed out that the Canucks could have got their 62nd home win yesterday. They could have got the 62nd home win against the Coyotes. That didn't happen either. So for whatever reason, the 62s didn't play yesterday. The Canucks couldn't have got 62 points yesterday. They were at 59. They got 1 point for the overtime loss. So it was a pretty it was a disappointing day in the NHL, but we've had a great week. So, you know, don't come off any of these paths we've been following. For the week, we've been big winners in the NHL. Yesterday, we were right about 50-50. So it wasn't really a loss of a day. It was just not an earning day. But if you took the college pick, if you took the NBA picks, we definitely won yesterday. So overall, positive territory. NHL could have done us a lot better. Today, the majority of the games are in the NBA. So I figure we'll start here today. We'll do NBA, college basketball, NHL, and then we'll be back tomorrow. And after I finish the live stream for today, I'll look at tomorrow's early games and probably put out some thoughts on the early games tomorrow in sports that we won't cover in time for the live stream. So let's not look at tomorrow's games. Let's focus on today. And let's start with the date numerology. February 22nd, 2019. To date was 63 numerology. Did you guys see the Robert Kraft story today? He's busted for soliciting sex in Jupiter, Florida. Just in case you missed this, today's the 53rd day of the year. Robert Kraft equals 53 like Patriots. Soliciting equals 63. He's busted for soliciting today. You know, Tom Brady and Bill Belichick just became 6-3. And Jupiter, Florida, where he got busted, Jupiter equals 99, like the 99th NFL season. Is that a sign that that's it for the Patriots? I sure hope so. So anyway, today's date, the 22nd of February. We have 63 date numerology. We have 36 date numerology. We have 18 date numerology. I'd rank these date numerology methods above these two down here, which don't use all the digits. We also have a 43 date, however. 43, the 14th prime. Remember that prime number. And also a 24 date. Keep in mind, it's the 22nd day of the month. 79 is the 22nd prime. If we see somebody going for the 79th series win, we want to keep that in mind. That said, I mean, yesterday we saw a bad day with the prime number relationship with the date, but it's not typically that way. And again, it's also the 53rd day of the year. 53 is the 16th prime. So if we see a 16 number to consider as well. So these are the numbers we're going to be keeping in mind as we go through the events. And let me just take a peek at the comments. Yeah, Jupiter, absolutely. Let's see. I'm just checking the comments real quick before we get into it. Make sure anybody has a good question. Well, if you're betting 10K on a game tomorrow, man, I hope you're rich, because it's always dangerous. I mean, it's a good chance you'll win, absolutely. But I hope you got a lot of money in the bank. I always say bet conservative, be the tortoise. That's my philosophy. You know, that way you'll never burn yourself. And just keep building day by day. Bet conservative, bet smart. That's my philosophy. But hey, do you. I just hope if you're betting 10,000, you've got a lot of money in the bank just in case. All right, Wizards, Hornets. So the first thing that's jumping out to me about this game is, again, the date numerology. Somebody can stay at 24 wins. However, this date numerology, the 24 is not our strongest one. They could also pick up their 24th away loss. That's the other piece here. I'm not seeing any other numbers in the date numerology for this specific game. That's all I'm seeing. Okay. So this is a Michael Jordan related game. Jordan played for the Wizards. Now the man with the Hornets. Let's see the let's see here. Wizards. What? That's not what I want. Hold on. Why did it look like that? Okay. This is going to be the 112th game. Ah, I see the Wizards can get their 53rd win on the 53rd day of the year. That makes things interesting. Hornets are going for 60. They're at 59 right now. Michael Jordan's 59. Here we are in the month that ends on the 59th day of the year. This is going to be their second meeting this year, which means they'll probably play one more time. Let's see. Okay, they play again. Oh, they played 2 more times. Maybe these teams. Oh, these teams must be in the same division then. Check that. Yeah, they are. Okay, so this is a division matchup. We're going to look at the standings here too. All right, so they're going to play 2 more times. They're going to play on March 8th. That's the 67th day of the year. Be a date with 11, 30, 50, 23 numerology on this date too. Makes me think of Jordan. And 18, 37, 57. Just doing the date numerology. Just thinking about what I'm thinking about is if any of these future dates have the numerology, what could be the series record? So the thing that's really popping out right now is just the fact that the Wizards can pick up that 53rd win on the 53rd day of the year. But they can also get that 24th loss on a date that does have a connection to 24. So I think this game's a little risky here. Let me check the Center. Spectrum Center 63 day. All right, let's check the team gematria real quick. Wizards, that doesn't go. Washington Wizards. Let's see here. Charlotte. Hornets. I'm ranking this game as risky, just because we see a narrative that can go either way. That 24th away loss, but that 53rd series win on the 53rd day of the year, I think that's the most likely thing to play. So, yeah, I don't see enough of a connection to the date or the name gematria to make a strong call, but. You guys just stop fighting about who's making what bets. Who cares? I mean, if somebody is boasting and it's not true, it doesn't matter, right? I mean, let's just continue to work together to figure out where we're going wrong. If somebody has the genius comment right now that they've observed, like where we have this type of riddle and they're more certain about a certain way, that would be a great comment right now. What I think plays the most, based on what I've observed from doing this, is I think it's most likely that the Wizards get that 53rd win on the 53rd day of the year. But I'm not confident because, again, when you can make a narrative both ways, that's where, you often get disappointed. So I'd rank this game as probably stay away from this game. If you got to make a pick, maybe go for those Wizards to cover. What's up? Oh, hold on. It's not loud. Hold on. Okay, now we're ready.
Hey, you on the right path, man. I like the Wizards to win because Hornets look like their home record, 29-10 prime.
Oh, you're right. I forgot to look at the division and conference standings. I'm glad you just did that to me. Okay, Hornets. Yeah. Okay, so in the Hornets in the conference, I don't see anything for the date. Divisions, nothing's really standing out. But you're saying the home, they could get the. Oh, I see what you're saying. 29-10. Okay, wait a minute. Wait, what? Why does that go today? Actually, why does that go today? Oh, I got it. I see it's the 29th home game. I see. And they can get their 10th home loss in the 29th game. Yeah, you're right. The prime relationship is there.
And Charlotte equals 39. You write out 10, you get 39.
So there's another reason to get the 10. I see what you're saying. But it's not the 39th home game, so it's a little bit different. But yeah, I do see you on the 29 and 10.
Okay, I'm remind you 2 days ago. Remember we were doing a hot key and I said about the 10?
Right.
And that happened.
Right.
So you write out 10, you get 39, and somebody that we agreed on that play, we got it right. But
no, I don't disagree with you about 10 and 39. That's a strong relationship. I'm just saying that it's not a 39 date. It's not the 39th game, and I mean they're always in Charlotte, so they could get their 10th home loss in Charlotte at another point. What I'm just saying about that.
Well, it goes along with it, Zach, because you already. I'm agreeing with you because you already said it's the 53rd day of the year, so that's enough. That's why they're gonna get it today because it's like riddles going with each other.
Yeah. The great observation that I'm giving you is 29th home game and 29 is the 10th prime, and we always see those. Well, we don't always, but we more often than not see the prime number relationships in home records and conference records. So, yeah, you're right about that.
Yeah. Okay, man. I'm gonna let you keep going, but I just want to point that out to you.
All right. Yeah, great observation.
Yeah. All right, bud.
Thanks, man. Okay, so he makes a great point on it being the 29th home game and 29 is the 10th prime. So the 10th home loss in the game. But again, what he's saying about 39, Charlotte equals 39. When you write out 10 as a word, it equals 39. If today had 39 date numerology, I'd be all over that. If it was the 39th home game, I'd be all over that. If it was the 39th game of the season, but it's not. And they can theoretically get their 10th home loss in Charlotte at another date, right? But because it has the prime number relationship here, that makes sense. So I'm just trying to help with the logical flow here on how we're evaluating number relationships. So Wizards they have two good riddles. 53rd win on the 53rd day, and this prime number relationship with the home record for the Hornets if they lose. All right, I'm going to make sure I don't overlook any more things like that. So I see two teams here with 22s on the 22nd day of the year, so we're not going to be able to make a read off that. Pelicans, Pacers. It's the 60th game for the Pelicans. It's the 59th game for the Pacers, the 17th prime. Again, let's come back to our date numerology. I got to get the numbers stuck in the head for today. This game's in Indianapolis. Indianapolis is on the 39th parallel, but we don't really have a strong connection to that number today. Okay. The one thing I see is that if the Pelicans lost, they'd be 9-23. 23 is the 9th prime. You could have a little prime number relationship there. Okay. Let's look. Are these teams in the same? No. They're in different conferences. Okay. All right, I'm going to look at the non-conference record real quick. So the Pacers have 11 wins out of conference and 9 losses. They're 11-9 out of conference. And New Orleans is, what is that? 10 and 12 out of conference. 10 and 12. Okay. Those numbers don't really go with our date. All right, let's see what the head-to-head is with these teams. Pacers, Pelicans head-to-head. It's going to be the 38th game. The Pacers can get their 24th win. Now, we do have a 24 date. Pacers can get that 24th win on the 24 date. Pelicans next is the 15th. And the only thing I could say about 15 is Indiana does have the Gematria 47, the 15th prime. But again, I always like to lead with the date numerology. Let's see. Oh, Pelicans can also get that 34th loss today, and Indiana's 34. So that looks good. Pacers. They can stay at 26 wins, Pacers 26, and get the 34th loss, Indiana. So their record would make a lot of sense after facing the Indiana Pacers. And then they'd have that 9-23 thing going, 23 the 9th prime. Just trying to think if there's any rhyme and reason to picking up the 39th win over the New Orleans Pelicans. Well, I got to give the edge to the Pacers here. All the riddles are lining up for the Pacers. I don't really see anything on the board for the Pelicans. All right, so Pacers look pretty good. Magic Bulls. Okay, today has the 43 connection. 43 is the 14th prime. So they could stay at 14, win the Bulls. Just checking the other numbers here. They can get their 22nd away loss on the 22nd. It's the Bulls' 59th game, the 17th prime. The Magic can get their 17th win. Let's just check the head-to-head here. These teams aren't in the same. No, they're not. Let's see the conference standings for these teams. Orlando Magic going for the 20th conference win. Bulls. I don't really see any numbers there that stand out. Let's see. Orlando's 79, the 22nd prime as well. So good team to get the 22nd away loss. That also adds to the riddle. It's going for 24, were they? Just the strongest thing here is just getting that 22nd loss on the 22nd against Orlando, 79, the 22nd prime. So I think Magic are a pretty good pick. The only upset riddle here for the Bulls to beat the Magic is just the fact that that 33rd loss is potentially on the board because Bulls is 33, so is Magic. If today had 33 connection, today had any 33 connection, I might say take the Bulls to at least cover. But again, lead him with the date numerology. Well, you guys, I shouldn't be so confident to come back to the date numerology just yet because you know, over the history of time, it's been about date numerology. Again, yesterday looked like it was back to the date numerology thing, but that was just one day sample. In the last 3 weeks, where date numerology has been about 50-50, it's been more about the name Gematria. And as I say that, it makes me think like, maybe I shouldn't doubt the Bulls giving the Magic the 33rd loss. It could, because I am realizing that if the Magic lost, they would be 16-16 at home. And when you write out 16, it's 33. And, you know, as I say that, it is the 53rd day of the year, which is the 16th prime. So, I think what's most likely still is for them to get that 22nd loss on the 22nd against Orlando, 79, the 22nd prime. But if I was going to bet on this game, I would bet on the Bulls to cover. That's actually what I would still do anyway. Just because that chance that the 33 is there and then being 16-16 on the 53rd day of the year. So best bet here is probably Bulls to cover. As I say that, the other thing I remember is Amway Center. Earlier this year, we saw a riddle where one team got 61-47. With regards to the 47, that's the 15th prime. And Bulls could get the 15th win. So I still think Magic come out ahead in this game, but there is a riddle on the board actually for the Bulls. So can't knock it. The Magic were about the hottest team in the NBA going into the All-Star break, but again, now we've had the big break. You just never know what they're going to do in the rigged NBA, so in the rigged world of sports. Magic likely prevail, maybe a closer game than people expect. All right, the first game on ESPN. Yeah, Travis says, again, 22 is a really special number in basketball. Basketball equals 22, so it's a hard number to doubt. Magic probably win, maybe closer game than expected. That's my thought. All right, Spurs, Raptors. So, Spurs 60th game, Raptors 60th game. The Spurs upset narrative that I see on the board, well, I see two things here. Okay, the Spurs upset narrative is keeping the Raptors at 24 home wins. But that date numerology is our least important method, the day plus the month, 2 plus 22. The Raptors can stay at 16 losses on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. Let's look at the head-to-head here. Raptors, Spurs. Wait a minute. Did I forget to look? Did I forget to look at the Bulls and Magic head-to-head? Hold on, you guys. I think I forgot to look at this. Let's go look at the Bulls and Magic head-to-head. I might have forgot to look at this. We'll come back to Raptors, Spurs. It's the 110th game. The Bulls are at 59 wins. The Magic's next is the 51st. And does Orlando have a connection to 110? It does. Orlando's 110. It's the 110th series game. Okay. So give one more point in the Orlando corner. I don't think there's any connection to 51, though. Okay. Okay. So 110th series game, Orlando 110. That is important. All right, back to Spurs Raptors. This is going to be the 46th game. The Spurs have 33 wins in the series. That's interesting because they have 33 wins in the season. The Raptors have 12 wins. So 46th game. I feel like is it Raptors? Yeah, Raptors is 46. So it's the 46th series game. Raptors 46. They have a connection to that. Toronto Raptors. Okay. What is it again? 33-12. Okay. Toronto Raptors is 71. That's the 20th prime number. The Spurs could get their 20th away loss against the Toronto Raptors. So that stands out. San Antonio Spurs. San Antonio Spurs, 91, the 13th triangular. The Raptors next wins the 13th. Hold on, let me come back to Raptors one more time. Raptors is 35, and if you use the rule for S, it is 44. Their next wins their 44th, but the Spurs don't have that connection. This game's on ESPN. Does ESPN have the connection to 27? ESPN, if you use the rule for S, is 27. The Spurs can get their 27th loss on ESPN. Scotiabank Arena, 53, 53rd day of the year. 53 is the 16th prime with a Raptors win. They stay at 16 losses. I got to give the edge to the Raptors here, it being the 53rd day, the arena, keeping the Spurs at 33 wins in the series and 33 wins in the season, picking up the 27th loss on ESPN. Toronto Raptors 71, the 20th prime. Spurs get their 20th away loss. So I think Toronto's got the better narrative there. No, I think your math's wrong. Adam points out if the Raptors lost at home, they will be 16 games over 500. I think they'd be, look at that. If they lost, they'd be 43 and 17. That would be plus 26, not plus 16. They'd be 26 games. Caller?
Hey, how's it going, Sean?
Hey, what's up, Izzy?
Yes. Just want to point something out. According to OddsShark, they have the Toronto Raptors winning 131-97.
Big.
That's
wow.
By over 30 points.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I know. And also, if you see the head-to-head, the last game, San Antonio won 125-107, which is like a double-digit blowout win. So there's a little revenge narrative for Toronto to win next game. And another something else to keep an eye. They have, I know these this little small indications that when the main players are injured, so something to look out. They have Kawhi Leonard, their top player from Toronto, is probable Friday against San Antonio. So that's something to keep an eye out at if you do that.
Oh, that's true. These are the teams that swap the star players.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Oh, that's something. Yep. There you go.
Well, you said Kawhi Leonard's probable. He's probable.
Yes, but the best thing is always type the name and the injury, and it'll give you like on the news, on the Google News, and it'll tell you the latest. It's scheduled to start, or stuff like that.
Right.
So that's the best thing. And also, this is coming since the All-Star break. Toronto is on a 6-game straight winning streak. So they're pretty hot coming from the All-Star break. So something like that. That's it.
All right. Great work. I appreciate it.
All right. No problem.
Thanks, Izzy. The one thing about looking at player injuries is it is good to have as much information as possible. But again, a lot of times the guys who sit out, they make the bettors go, oh, for sure this team's going to win tonight, and then they don't. And, you know, again, bettors are logical, and the rigging of the games is meant to take advantage of logical people. But I am noticing that Kawhi Leonard's 27 years old, and he can give his old team their 27th loss this year. I just want to see how many days it is from his birthday and DeMar DeRozan's. So Kawhi Leonard, June 29th birthday to today. It's 238 days, 34 weeks. He just said that spread on OddsShark was 34 points. That's funny. It's also 239 days, which is the 52nd prime number. What about to his upcoming birthday? 127 days, the 31st prime. What about DeMar DeRozan? So this is DeRozan's first trip back to Toronto since being traded. August 7th is his birthday. It's 199 days, the 46th prime. And remember, it's the 46th series game, and Raptors is 46. So that's very interesting how that lines up. I wonder how he plays tonight. But, yeah, I like the Raptors. 46th series game. Usually when there's a matchup with the series and the team, it's a good sign. For the Magic, it's their 110th series match. Orlando, 110. So far, favor the Hornets. Or no. Excuse me. We favor the Wizards to pick up the 53rd win on the 53rd day of the year in the series. We favor that. Pacers seem to have good numbers to get it done against the Pelicans. Magic should beat the Bulls, but I might be inclined to bet the Bulls to cover just because Bulls equals 33 like Magic, and the Magic could get their 33rd loss and be 16-16 on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. I think Magic prevail in this game, giving them the 22nd loss on the 22nd, but I just wonder if this will be closer than people expect. Spurs, Raptors. Raptors seem to have good numbers to get it done. And next game up, Pistons, Hawks. Okay, so unfortunately, nothing is nothing's. These teams have the overlapping. We have an 18 date, but both of these teams can get the 18th loss. Hawks equals 17. Remember that. It's the 59th game for the Hawks here. 59 is the 17th prime. It's the 57th game for the Pistons. Ooh, let's see. These teams in the same conference, different division. Let's look at the conference real quick. Hawks are 12-27. Pistons could get the 18th conference win. They could also stay at 17 against the Hawks. Hawks 17, but we do have the 18 date numerology. Oh. Get the 18th away loss too. Let's see. Let's see what it is here. Hawks Pistons head to head. 429th game. I just want to make sure that's not a prime number. It's not. So I see the Pistons can get their 220th win on the 22nd. This team's last played 61 days ago, the 18th prime. The Hawks won at Detroit. The Hawks already lost at home. Okay, did they play again? Probably last game of the year. Yeah, it is. Yeah, the players to watch. Yeah, that is something we could add to our analysis, especially with all the live betting on players. Let's see. Let me check some gematria here. Atlanta Hawks. Let's see. Detroit Pistons. Shoot. Caller?
Hey, Zach.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man? I was giving you a call about that Favre Mike McCarthy video you put up.
Are you in the live stream right now?
No, I'm not.
Okay, we're
I didn't know you.
yeah,
we're
doing
doing live stream. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. Just give me a call back sometime afternoon.
Oh, sorry about that. Yeah, I'm calling from Chicago time here.
Oh yeah, so it's call me in about hour and a half.
Oh, you're on the live stream right now?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that on Patreon or is that on YouTube?
Patreon every day.
At noon, is it noon Central Time?
That's right. That's when it starts. It goes about 2 hours every day, Monday through Saturday. 10
a.m. Pacific Time. All right. Sorry about that, man. Sorry about you.
That's okay. Take care. Okay. I'm just trying to find a number that fits in here that could happen today. So caller?
Hey, Zach. How you doing, man?
Doing well.
All right. I'm calling from California. Hey, huh? Hey, Zach. How you doing, man? Doing well.
You're hearing yourself back. You have to turn down the video.
Hello?
Yeah, you got to turn your video down in the background.
Oh. Hold on. Okay, so what we got going on in NBA today in the college?
Well, we're going to get to those. We're doing the NBA, then we'll do college basketball, and then we'll do NHL.
Oh, okay, so you just want me to go ahead and listen to you right now?
Yeah, can you call in if you got something for college? Can you call in when we get there?
Well, yeah. Okay.
Well, unless it's something quick, if you just want to throw it out right now, you can.
Yeah, I'm listening to you right now, and I just signed up yesterday, and I ordered your book, man. I read your book, man. It's crazy. It's fascinating.
Yeah, it is crazy, man. Yeah, you're right about that.
You know, about the rice and the Asian, some with 26 letter. I'm Asian from Cambodia, you know. It's and dollars and bang and everything. That's crazy.
It is crazy. I know it.
So, I read one line that you say you have an Asian student and they write essay and they're talking about rice is the priority, the number one food. You know.
Right.
Yeah, it's true though. It's true. I'm Asian. I'm Cambodian, and that's why we eat rice. You know.
Oh, I know, man. My girl's Asian, and we eat rice every day. Hey, brother, I appreciate it, but I got to keep it moving. Otherwise, we'll never finish this live stream. So, I'm gonna keep it moving for now, but you can call me back, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thanks. All right. Bye.
Bye.
All right. So, unfortunately, I'm not seeing any clear indicator for this Pistons-Hawks game. Yeah, I think this Pistons-Hawks game is dangerous. I don't see a good read. Let me check the arena real quick. Atlanta, Georgia's 59 too. That's right. 17th prime. Yeah, I just don't like this game. I can't come up with anything that's a good read because either team can get that 18. What's up, caller?
Hey, Zach. With that Atlanta game, because I was trying to do my coach, that was one of the games that I had trouble decoding. If you looked at Atlanta's home, what home game it is from them?
Mm-hmm. 27.
I'm sorry. Was it Atlanta or was it Detroit?
Both teams, it's the 27th game for home and away, and they're both 9-17.
Okay, Atlanta's Atlanta's game all time. They're the whole season. It's their 59th, right?
It is.
So yeah, and it's tricky there because you talk about the prime 59-17, right?
Right.
And I was like, does Atlanta stay on 17 home wins or do?
Well, they'd stay on 17 home losses if they won.
I mean, 17 losses. You're right. That's what I meant. And it's like, so is it down or does Detroit stay on 17 away losses? And
right.
I'm not sure. Can you recall what pattern it usually goes? Is it the other team getting it, or the more favorable team, or is it usually the home?
So the logical part of my brain wants to say, well, the 59 belongs to the city of Atlanta. It doesn't belong to Detroit. So perhaps the Hawks stay at 17 home losses in the 59th game in Atlanta, Georgia. If you put a gun to my head and said pick a game, I'd say, okay, I'm picking the Hawks. But still, just too many times when the number can go either way, it's too risky is the way I'd say, because it's very easy that at the end of the night we say, well, that was the logical thought, but it didn't work out. So
yeah, okay. Again, I think my initial thought was just to stay away from it. Okay, that's pretty much what I was leaning towards anyway.
Yeah,
I thought maybe you saw a pattern in the past that because I wasn't sure, it threw me off, and a lot of these games are like that, so
yeah.
All right, but I'll let you get back to it, Zach. I just wanted to see what your thoughts was on it.
Okay, I appreciate it. Yeah, good question. All right, take care, man. Thanks.
Sure.
Yeah, if you got to pick there, I'd go with the Hawks. They're at home, and like we just said, Atlanta, Georgia's 59. 59 is the 17th prime. Perhaps they stay at 17 home losses. But just as easily, we can see tomorrow we come back here and they lost and they got their 18th home loss on the 18 day. Or do the Pistons get the 18th away loss? We did say that the Pistons could get their 18th conference win, or they can stay at 17. So I just didn't see another connection, and I really would stay away. All right, Knicks, Timberwolves. So let's see. It is the 59th game for the Timberwolves too, and the Knicks. Unfortunately, there's no 17s on the board. That Knicks riddle we were wondering if we would see happen, them losing through February 26th. They won their last game, so that cannot happen anymore. It was a brilliant observation, but it's going to be just a hair off. Let's see. The only thing in the date numerology that's jumping out at me is the 24. But again, that's not our strong date numerology method, but it's still there. The Knicks could get that 24th home loss today. And let's see what the head-to-head is here. "57th game. The Knicks' next win is their 33rd. Look at where the Timberwolves are at, 24. So New York's 33. We don't have the connection to 33 with today's date, though. But the Knicks could get that 33rd win potentially today. I'm going to do something real quick. I don't do this every day, but I realize that I should. I want to see what day it is on the Hebrew calendar. It's the 17th of Adar. Okay. Sometimes we've seen that Hebrew calendar pay big dividends, like with this past NFL season. Okay. Nobody's going for 17. Let's look at non-conference records for these teams real quick. What's up, man?
With that Atlanta game, I don't know if it's sticks, Zach, but they play tomorrow. They play the Suns, and Arizona equals 39. I don't know if that'll help.
Tomorrow, the Hawks play the Suns?
Yeah, Arizona equals 39, so do they stay on 39?
Well, they are the Arizona team. Technically, they're the Phoenix Suns, but yeah, that makes me think that there's more reason to believe in the Hawks. So I still think it's dangerous, but that is a good thought.
And then it makes sense because if they playing in Atlanta, Zach, tomorrow again, Atlanta equals 17, so they walk back into Atlanta with the 17.
Right. I see what you're saying. Eventually, they're going to get off that number, but
yeah. Oh no, I could be wrong, man, but I'm just.
That is a good point, though, that they play the Arizona team tomorrow. Though we do know that states matter, so yeah, I'd give a little edge to the Hawks there. I see that they're the underdog in that game too. I still think it's a dangerous game, but we're starting to come up with some reason to think the Hawks can pull it out.
Yeah, and you know what I noticed about the Hawks, Zach? They've been fucking me sometime in my betting. We got to stop thinking like they just suck because, you know, this shit's all rigged, man. So it's like we just got to look at every game like evenly. You know what I mean?
Well, that's what I do. I just look at the numbers, and I try not to let
I know. That's what you do. No, I don't see because I'll be watching this sometimes. Been doing a long time. That's why I start doing that. You've been doing that good. Just look at it evenly. No matter if they playing bumfuck Egypt, if they can win, you know what I mean? So it don't matter.
That's how we got that upset last week. It was like the improbable upset, Penn State over Michigan.
Yeah. No, you did good, man. And I don't know, and then I'm going to let you go. I don't know if you, like, use this, but I use this, too, today. Like, with the Raptors game, since it's 222, 22 times 2 is 44. Like, the date, and I times it. I don't know if you want to use that, but I do that trick sometime, too.
Well, that's something to think about. I don't do that, but I'll think about that and see if there's an observation there. It's all mathematics, so there's reason to think they could be doing that.
Yeah. So, all right, man. I'll let you keep going.
All right.
Yeah.
Okay, so coming back to this Knicks-Timberwolves game, it was the head-to-head. The Knicks' next win is the 33rd, and they could keep the Timberwolves at 24. It's the 57th game, and if I'm not mistaken, New York City does have that 57 connection. I don't know if that's cheating. New York City, maybe that's cheating. Okay, I was looking at the non-conference. New York out of conference has 4 wins and 13 losses. In Minnesota, they got 10 wins and 8 losses. 10. Do they get the 11th in the 11th state, or do they stay at 10? 10 and 39, New York, the land of 39. Let me let's look at the gematria here. Is there something we're overlooking? Rob Jennings says in the Detroit-Atlanta game, I'm sure you guys see his comment, Atlanta all-time has 236 losses to Detroit at home, and State Farm Arena is 236. Interesting observation. So you could add that as another riddle in favor of Atlanta then. Well, Lakin's back. Lakin, we had a great day in the NBA yesterday. So I'm going to see if we can keep the we did great in the NBA until the last few weeks, but we're going to get this ship back on course. So let's see here. I got to find a better riddle here for New York and Minnesota. This is the third and wait a minute. No. This is the first of the 2 games. Let's see when these guys play again. I just remembered something about the Timberwolves. The Wolves gematria of 24 has been playing a lot for the Timberwolves this year. That just snapped into my brain. The Timberwolves are at 24 wins. We got a 24 date numerology. New York can get that 33rd win in New York. But the problem was the Knicks can also get that 24th home loss. All right, hold on. They play again March 10th. That's the 69th day of the year. That'll be a date with 52 numerology. Minnesota's 52, and the game is in Minnesota. So probably a good sign for Minnesota in the next one. Oh, hold on. 13. That's also a date with 25 numerology. It's also a date with 25 numerology the next game. And that means that the Timberwolves, their next win's the 25th. They could get the 25th win on that 25 date numerology. But as I say that, I realized so many times this year we found a connection like that and said, okay, then I think that means they have to wait to get that series win until the next one, and then it didn't work out that way. So I still can't be super confident about that. But in light of today having 24 date numerology and the next day having 25 numerology, I think it is possible it does work out that way. I'm still a little bit nervous about the Knicks getting their 24th loss, so. Knicks 22 on the 22nd. Knicks. What's the spread here? I just don't think there's a strong enough read to have confidence. Yeah, I'd probably shy away from that game too. If the Knicks are a decent payout, maybe take them to cover, but still risky business there. Again, the Timberwolves' next win is the 25th, and the next game's on a date with 25 numerology. But like I said, we've seen that pattern not work out for us. And that was mostly in recent weeks. So that's why I feel burned by that pattern. I'd wait and see on this game. All right, Clippers, Grizzlies. Let's come back to the all-time head-to-head here. '90th game. Clippers going for 47th win. Grizzlies going for 44. Okay. They played twice this year. They're 1-1 against each other. Do they play again? They play again March 31st. That's the 90th day of the year. Today's the 90th series match. 34. That'll be a date with 53 numerology. Los Angeles is 53. That game's in Los Angeles. So a date with 73 numerology. 19 numerology. Today has the 43 date numerology, today's game, and the Grizzlies are at 43 wins. Clippers does equal 44, so their next win's their 44th. Notice Clippers is 44 and 46. That's interesting. That could potentially be the series record, but don't give that a lot of stock. The Grizzlies with the win do get their 24th home win. The Grizzlies could also get their 37th loss. This one's tricky too because Los Angeles is 37. Los Angeles 37. Hold on here. Memphis. Grizzlies. Grizzlies is 131, the 32nd prime. Memphis, Grizzlies. Okay. Los Angeles, Clippers. The FX Forum. Tennessee. These teams are not in the same division, are they? Let's see the conference real quick here. Clippers could stay at 18 losses in the conference on the 18 date. Grizzlies could get the 16th home win on the 53rd. 53 the 16th prime. And Los Angeles is also 53. So, God, they could also get the 16th home loss. Remember, Los Angeles is 37 and 53, both very important. We just saw that in the Super Bowl. Los Angeles 37-53, Patriots 37-53. In Super Bowl 53, the Patriots get their 37th franchise win over Los Angeles. Let me check the chat here. Going with that Hebrew calendar, somebody points out the Clippers could get the 17th win. It's true, but the 16's big today. I rank this game as dangerous as well, unfortunately. I'd stay away from this game. Again, if you can make a narrative either way, it's dangerous. So can't come up with a justification one way or the next for this game. Okay, Nuggets, Mavericks. Nuggets with the win stay at 18 losses on the 18 date. It's okay because we have some pretty good reads in the NBA, so we don't have to go with every game here. We want to make sure we're finding some good picks. All right, so they're going to play again on Pi Day, March 14th, the 73rd day of the year, 73rd NBA season. 172nd game. The Mavericks' next win is their 89th. That's the 24th prime number. We do have the 24 date numerology. The Nuggets' next win is their 84th. They last played December 18th. So they last played, that was 66 days ago, or a span of 67. Notice the Mavericks lost with 118. Dallas, Texas equals 118. Let's check this out real quick. Mavericks is 61 the 18th prime. They could stay at 18 losses against them. Dallas Mavericks, Denver. Mavericks have 31 losses. They could get their 32nd against Denver. Nuggets. I think the Nuggets here. Let's check the conference standings real quick. Okay. The Nuggets have 24 wins in the conference. We do have the 24 date. This is the big scare because the Mavericks could get their 89th win, the 24th prime. This is their narrative. And let's see. Their conference record's not as interesting. Did I miss anything? It seems to me the Nuggets have the better narrative here, but that one little riddle on the board for the Mavericks, getting the 89th series win, the 24th prime on the 24 day, and the Nuggets staying at 24 conference wins. I don't think that's as strong as the Nuggets staying at 18 losses. We saw Mavericks is 61 the 18th prime and then picking up their 32nd loss against Denver. That seems to be the better riddle to me. So I would favor the Nuggets here to win on the road. They are a slight favorite. Not a super safe pick, but they likely get it. So Jazz, Thunder. Now, here's a game on the 18 network. Let's see if there's any 18s in the conference standing, because Jazz have that connection to 18 in our two reduction-based ciphers. We also have a 63 date today. Okay, Jazz and Thunders. Anybody got 18s here? These teams aren't in the same division, are they? Or are they? No, they're not. Or wait, yeah, they are. Okay, so this is a division game. So Oklahoma City 5-4 in the division. Utah 5-6 conference. Oklahoma City can get their 22nd win in the conference on the 22nd, where Utah is also 22. So we got a conference record riddle for Oklahoma City. That said, in the same breath, it is the 53rd day of the year, the 16th prime. Oklahoma City could get the 16th loss. It makes things risky. Jazz already at 16 conference losses. So something I see with the overall record for the Jazz is they can get their 26th loss, and Oklahoma City, I'm spelling wrong. Oklahoma City Thunder is 101, the 26th prime. We've seen this relationship play out this year. Remember Boston beat Oklahoma City just before the Super Bowl. Oklahoma City also 133, like the score was 13-3. But that would give the Jazz their 26th loss, and it would give them their 16th away loss on the 53rd day of the year. Jazz 32. To me, it seems that the better riddle here in this game is for the Thunder, because we can make sense of the loss for the Jazz in the season to this opponent. And just with the immediate season record, which I do think is still more important than the standings, we can make sense of the 16 loss on the 53rd day of the year. In the conference standings, we did see that the Thunder could get the 22nd win on the 22nd, and Utah's 22. So the one thing for Utah is them staying at 16 losses. But I don't think that's as I don't think that's as strong as everything else we see here. Hold on, it's my lit. What's up, love? Can you study at school for a bit? I still have a ways to go on this live stream.
No, I have my stuff at home. I didn't know you were today.
Baby, Monday through Saturday. You know this. Can Krista give you a ride home?
She's not here. Okay, that's fine. I'll stay.
Okay, I'll be there when I'm done. Bye. She said she wouldn't need a ride until 12:30. Okay, anyway, I think Thunder do have the better riddle here. Though the only other thing is it is the 18 network ESPN. Again, Jazz got the connection to 18. We got 18 date numerology, but there was nothing in the records today with 18, so I don't think it matters as much. All right, so let's review again. Wizards can pick up that 53rd win on the 53rd day of the year. The Hornets in their 29th home game can pick up their 10th loss, 29 the 10th prime, so got to favor the Wizards here. Pacers have good numbers to beat the Pelicans. Indiana equals 34. Pelicans can pick up the 34th loss. Pacers equals 26. Pelicans can have a record of 26-34. Perfect for the opponent they're facing. That would also make them 9-23 on the road, 23 the 9th prime. Bulls Magic is tough. You know, Magic are one of the hottest teams going into the break. I'm sure everybody's going to bet on the Magic tonight. And this is where they like to take advantage of the gamblers, because everyone's like, okay, the Bulls suck. Magic were one of the best teams before the break. How are they going to lose at home? They probably don't lose. Bulls can get the 22nd loss on the 22nd. Orlando equals 79, the 22nd prime. It's the 110th series game. Orlando also equals 110. But if Orlando did get upset, they'd get their 33rd loss. Magic equals 33, so does Bulls. And that would make them 16-16 at home on the 53rd day of the year. 53, the 16th prime, when you write out 1633. So there is a real upset narrative here for the Bulls. If I bet on this game, I would probably either take the money line for the Magic, but I think the bet I would even do before that is the Bulls to cover the spread. Very possible they do. Even possible they upset, which would take a lot of money, I'm sure, from the gamblers tonight. I got to imagine probably 1 out of 10 guys bets on the Bulls at most. Spurs Raptors, 46th series game. Raptors equals 46, so they got the series record advantage. They can stay at 16 losses on the 53rd day of the year. The game's on ESPN. ESPN has the Gematria 27. Spurs can get the 27th loss. It's 199 days from DeMar DeRozan's birthday, his first return against the Raptors. 199, the 46th prime for the 46th series game. I think the Raptors get it done here. Toronto Raptors also equals 71. That's the 20th prime. Spurs, 20th away loss. Hawks Pistons. Very iffy. We have 18-date numerology. Either team can get the 18th loss. It was pointed out that the Hawks' next game's against Arizona. Arizona's 39, so perhaps they stay at 39 losses. If the Hawks win tonight, remember it's their 59th game. 59 is the 17th prime, so maybe they stay on 17 losses. Atlanta, Georgia's also 59, but proceed with caution here. Again, it's always dangerous when you can make a riddle either way with the date. Either team can get that 18th loss in the away and home column. Timberwolves, Knicks. I think another dicey game here. The narrative for the Knicks is 24-date numerology. Timberwolves have 24 series wins. The next time they play is a date with 25 numerology. Timberwolves could get the 25th win against the Knicks on that date in Minnesota. So there's reason to believe that the Knicks prevail against the Timberwolves. The concern here is we have 24-date numerology. The Knicks could get their 24th loss today, and Wolves equals 24. We have seen riddles with Wolves in 24 with the Timberwolves who wear Wolves on their jersey. So, again, dangerous game. Clippers, Grizzlies. I don't see anything here to pick a team. Can make too much of a riddle either way. 53rd day of the year, 16th prime. Either team can get a 16. Los Angeles is 53. That said, if the Grizzlies lose, Los Angeles is also 37. They could get their 37th overall loss and their 16th home loss. Los Angeles also 53, the 16th prime. So dangerous, but the Grizzlies' home loss and overall loss would make a lot of sense with the loss to Los Angeles. But again, can also make the riddle against the Clippers. Nuggets, I imagine they do stay on 18 losses on the 18 date. Denver equals 32. Mavericks can get that 32nd loss. I think that makes more sense there. And Jazz Thunder. We just pointed out how Oklahoma City Thunder 101, the 26th prime. Jazz can get the 26th loss. It's the 22nd date. Utah equals 22. Thunder can get the 22nd conference win. So, favoring the Thunder there. All right, let's do college basketball real quick, and then we'll do the NHL. College basketball. All right, Buffalo, my favorite team to pick. So far, we haven't got a single Buffalo game wrong this year. All right, Buffalo can get the 24th win on the 24 date. That's what stands out first of all. Don't want to jinx our Buffalo luck here. I notice if Kent State loses, they'll have a nice prime number relationship. They'll be 19-8, 19 the 8th prime. Let's see. Buffalo's the Bulls. What's Kent State? The Golden Flashes. All right. Buffalo college basketball head-to-head. Going to be the 48th game. Buffalo has 18 wins already in the series. So there's a chance they could stay at 18 wins on the 18 date. This game is also on ESPN. ESPN, the 18 network. Golden Flashes, is that what their name is? That's a weird name. Golden Flashes. Golden Flashes, okay. Kent State 25. Buffalo Bulls. All right, I'm alarmed here about the Buffalo game because of the fact that they're at 18 series wins on the 18th day, and ESPN an upset equal 18. It's a big spread. Kent State, again, we see the prime number relationships. Them becoming 19-8 is likely. I think if I was going to bet here in this game, I'd bet on Kent State to cover. But other than that, oh, we only got 2 games today. If I was going to bet here, I'd bet on Kent State to cover. That's what I would do. That's a big old spread. Let me check the Alumni Arena. Alumni Arena, 109, the 29th prime. The other team already at 29 wins in the series. Alumni Arena also 71, the 20th prime, though. They could get their 20th win. I think the best bet here is to bet on Kent State to cover if you want to take a stab at that game. Again, Buffalo can get that 24th win on the 24 day. Here's Iowa. Iowa just has not been able to get their 21st win. Again, Iowa equals 21. The last time they had this chance, it was a date with 21 numerology. They got to get it, right? I mean, how long can they not get this? Where's Iowa? Iowa versus the Hoosiers. Okay. 125th game. Iowa going for their 58th win. Indiana going for the 68th. Just about Buffalo, 63 and 36. We do have 63 and 36 date numerology. Okay. Iowa. Let's see. Iowa. 4-day 2. Hawkeyes. Iowa Hawkeyes. Indiana. Hoosiers. Yeah, Hoosiers. Carver Hawkeye Arena. Iowa City. Iowa City, Iowa. Well, there's no super strong indicator here, but again, Iowa does equal 21. Their next win's their 21st. There is something to this study, absolutely, in 216 and hold on. Does they have 36 date numerology? It does. Okay, I think the 21 and 6 happens because there's a relationship with the numbers 36, 216, and 666. So them becoming 21 and 6 on this date with 36 numerology, I think it happens. Again, Iowa 21. Got to get that 21st win eventually. And there's nothing in the series records to see possible riddles going there down today. Let's see. What's up, man?
Prophecy code.
Are you saying with the Iowa thing?
Yep, Iowa go 10 and 6, prophecy 106, Indiana go 52.
That's a good point too about the 10 and 6 prophecy thing, because yeah, that's what those numbers also factor into. So yeah, that's a good point.
Yep, 21 Sunday 21. So that's what I like.
As I say that, I was looking for a reason that they could fall to 9 and 7. Hawkeyes does equal 97. They could fall. That's the danger there, but I think they're going to get that 21st win. So
yeah, I know, you too.
All right. Hawkeyes does equal 97, though. That's just the one thing to be wary of. If they lost, they'd be 9 and 7 in the Big Ten.
Yeah, you're right.
So, all right, yeah, good observation though on the 10-6.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, we'll have a whole lot more college basketball games to go through tomorrow, but yeah, not the greatest picks today in college basketball. That 9 and 7 just makes me a little bit more iffy. I wanted to see if there was anything there I was overlooking. You know what? The other thing is if Indiana won, now that I'm seeing that, there would be a prime number relationship here, 5 and 11, because 11 is the 5th prime number. Again, we got the 43 date, the 14th prime. Those 14s could go either way. I don't know what they're doing with Iowa and making them struggle to get that 21st win. There's something up with that. But yeah, let's switch over to the NHL. See if we can find some big winners. What I'm really looking for today is teams going for the 63rd points. The Wild could get there with an overtime loss. That would give the Red Wings their 24th win on a 24 date. So I'm thinking I see an overtime loss here for the Wild. Both these teams can get 63 points here. I'm just going to scan real quick. Damn, that sucks that this is happening right here. Our teams going for 63 are facing each other again. Okay, let's do it. Let's get some good reads here. All right. So Blue Jackets, the date again, our date numerology, the methods that matter most are the ones up here. We use all the digits. These ones have not mattered so much in the head-to-head, but in the series records, they've mattered. The all-time head-to-head between teams is what I mean when I say series. Okay. All right, let's see. Blue Jackets, Senators. All right, so they're facing Ottawa. 28th game. It's all time. It's 11-14. So the thing about 14 is, again, we have this 43 date. 43 is the 14th prime. So if Ottawa loses, they stay at 14 wins. And that also means that the Blue Jackets would pick up their 12th win in Ottawa. And the thing about Ottawa is it has the Gematria 37, the 12th prime. Ottawa 37, the 12th prime. They could get their 12th win in Ottawa. But that goes against them getting their 24th loss. But again, the date numerology at 24, that method hasn't mattered so much in the win-loss records. So Columbus is 25. The rule with S, it's 34. And I do see that the Senators could get their 34th loss in this game. That would also give the Blue Jackets their 34th win. So that's one thing on the board. Columbus Blue Jackets. 53rd day of the year. There are 16 up here. Looking at the conference and division standings and all that, I've noticed it hasn't been so helpful. It's been more about the overall records. Let's just look at the home and away. So Ottawa's at home. They could stay at 14 home wins on this 43-date numerology. The Blue Jackets can get, they're on the road. They could stay on 18 away wins, too, on the 18 date. All right, let's see. Columbus Blue Jackets. Ottawa. Senators. Ottawa Senators is 191, the 43rd prime. That 43-14 thing goes in the favor of the Blue Jackets. They're 51. The Senators' next points are their 51st when they get a win. Doesn't mean it has to come in this game. Blue Jackets. The Blue Jackets' next points are their 71st. Again, it doesn't have to come in this game. Not a real strong read here, but the 34 thing makes me think that the Blue Jackets have the edge. And also the series record, them staying at 14 wins on the 43 date, the 14th prime. Again, Ottawa 37, the 12th prime. They could get their 12th win in Ottawa. So I give the edge to the Blue Jackets, but not a strong read. The Wild, with an overtime loss today, get to 63 points. 63-date numerology. Red Wings going for 57 points. Let's see what we have here. All right, Minnesota Wild. It's the 59th game, so 17th prime. All time, it's 37-18. 37-18 all time, factoring in these overtime losses. Let's see. Minnesota Wild. What was the series match? 59th series match, and Minnesota Wild is 59. So, again, more often than not, when a team has a connection to the series record, they win, but not always. Wild's 24. Wild's 24. The Red Wings could get their 24th win. Again, the overtime loss would be perfect for the Wild to get to 63 points on the 63-day. Detroit Red Wings is 89, the 24th prime. They can get that 24th win at home. Whoop. See the home and away records here. Detroit can stay at 14 losses on the 43 date, 43 the 14th prime. Ooh, the Wild record, though. The Wild record makes it a little bit more interesting. They could stay at 14 away losses and get their 16th away win on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. So I'd say risky game here too, but just in light of how the points would be perfect with an overtime loss and getting that 24th win against the Wild, I want to give the edge to the Red Wings. Again, it's been more about the immediate season points and overall record than anything else. We've definitely made that observation. So, Avalanche Blackhawks. Oh, here's a team. Oh, no. All right. Both of these games could go this way. Okay. Both of these teams can get the 63rd point. 63rd points. Shoot. This game is on ESPN. Let's see. Avalanche versus the Blackhawks. 137th game. Now, that's a number that belongs to the Blackhawks. Chicago Blackhawks is 137. So 137th game. The Avalanche lead 66-61 all time. 66-61. Let's see here. Avalanche is 67. Their next win is their 67th. 67 is the 19th prime, but we don't have a connection to 19 for the date. Okay. Home and away here. The one thing that just standing out about the date is if the Avalanche won, they'd stay at 24 losses. But again, that date numerology hasn't been holding up. Avalanche can potentially get their 14th away win, 43 date numerology, the 14th prime. Blackhawks can get their 16th, or no, never mind. The Blackhawks could stay at 14 home wins too on the 43 date. They'd get their 12th home loss, Chicago 37, the 12th prime. Let's see here. Colorado Avalanche. Colorado's 43 as well, the 14th prime. Colorado's got that connection. Chicago Blackhawks. And it's the 137th series game. Oftentimes that's a good team for the team with the connection to it. Blackhawks is 62. Hold on. Chicago Blackhawks is also, it's tough. 97 is the 25th prime. I'm just noticing that if the Avalanche lost, they would be 25-25. If they lost in overtime, they would get 62 points against the Blackhawks. And I mean, one of these teams is obviously going to be at 63 points by the end of the day, the date numerology. But which one is it? The home and away records seem to suggest the Avalanche pull off the W. But I've been burned by these home and away records enough times to know that that's not definitive. It's just so tight because both teams are going for the same points. 61's also the 18th prime. Someone could theoretically stay there on those 61 points. The 137th series match makes me want to give the edge to the Blackhawks. Yeah. Yeah, maybe too close for comfort there. We can make a little bit of an argument both ways. Winnipeg Jets equals 61-2. We'll get to that game here in a minute. All right, Ducks Flames. Let's see. Flames can stay at 16 losses on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. Ducks do have a chance to stay at 24, but that 24 date numerology is not as strong. Let's see. "107th game, that's the 28th prime. The Ducks going for their 60th win. The Flames going for their 41st all-time win. Calgary. Calgary's next win is the 41st all-time, and Calgary is 41. Games in Calgary. Calgary Flames. Making sure that there's nothing with the points. Anaheim. Their next win over Anaheim in regulation is the 39th. Doesn't go with today, though. Anaheim Ducks. The Ducks, if they lost in overtime, they'd be at 58 points. Stay on 24 wins. Let's see here. Let's see. Calgary 67, the 19th prime. The Ducks can stay on 18 losses on the 18th date or pick up their 19th away loss against a fitting opponent. And the Flames. Let's see, they're 19, 5-5. Anaheim Ducks 71, the 20th prime. They can get their 20th home win over the Ducks. I like the Flames here because of the date numerology. Staying at 16 losses on the 53rd date of the year and keeping the Ducks at 24 wins. Those seem to be the best riddles. I wonder if it's another overtime loss game. Again, that would give them 58 points. Ducks 58. Okay. Jets, Golden Knights. Let's see. All right. Let's see what the head-to-head is here. Fifth game, Winnipeg leads. I guess it's 2-2 all time. It's tied. It's 2-2. Okay. So Winnipeg. Does that go with anything? Winnipeg's 97, the 25th prime. Golden Knights could stay on 25 losses against them. What else is there? Winnipeg Jets. Go with anything? Don't see anything there. Vegas. Knights. 89, the 24th prime, 24 date. Golden Knights. Golden Knights 62. Let's see. It's for the Golden Knights, it's their 63rd game, just on this date with 63 numerology. Head-to-head's 2-2. Let's see what the standings are here. Jets away. The Jets could get their 16th away win on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. They could also get their 14th loss. Is there something about 43 in Las Vegas? Las Vegas, Nevada. Las Vegas, Nevada is 43, the 14th prime. So that makes that dicey. Vegas can get their 18th home win on an 18 date. And Vegas is 18. Is there anything I missed? Jets. Winnipeg. Jets. '97, the 25th prime. Vegas stays on 25 losses against Winnipeg, picks up their 18th home win on the 18 date over the Winnipeg Jets, 61, the 18th prime. I think that's our best riddle here. 18th home win, 18 date, Vegas 18. So if I got to favor a team here, it's the Golden Knights. And the Winnipeg Jets best players out? Okay. Sometimes they do that to throw off the gamblers, but there is a riddle here in the numbers. And Jets, you're right. Jets is 18 if you use the rule on S. That's another good point. All right. So Columbus, let's just review real quick. Let's review all of our games. Columbus, the rule with S, 34. It's the best thing to go with here. It's not a strong read, but Senators can get that 34th loss against Columbus. Proceed with caution, but that's the best riddle on the board for looking at that game. Red Wings, Wild. Wild equals 24. The Red Wings have a shot at the 24th win. Not a real strong read. Check one more time what it was, the Wild and the Red Wings. The Wild can also stay on 18 wins against Detroit on the 18 date numerology. You can stay on 18 wins. So I'd give the edge to the Red Wings. I won't be surprised if the Wild lose with a overtime loss and get to 63 points on the 63 date numerology. Probably a tight game there. Avalanche Blackhawks. Tight read again. It's the 137th series game. Chicago Blackhawks equals 137. Either team can get the 63rd points on the 63 date numerology. You really can make a riddle either way for this game. I'm just wondering if the series record helps the Blackhawks prevail here. But I'd be careful on this game. I'd be careful on all these games, honestly. There's not real great reads in the NHL today. If I think there's a safest game, it's probably Calgary to get it done here. 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. They can stay at 16 losses. Ducks can stay on 24 wins on the 24 day. And Jets, good reason to believe they give the Golden Knights their 18th home win of the season on the 18 day. Vegas equals 18. Winnipeg Jets equals 61 the 18th prime. So I think Golden Knights get it done against the Jets. I think Calgary gets it done at home against the Ducks. Dangerous here with the Blackhawks and Avalanche. Blackhawks have been hot. These games iffy as well, but I'd give the edge to the Blue Jackets and the Red Wings. College basketball, not real great picks today. We only got 2 ranked games. And the danger for the Buffalo game was that they were at 18 series wins. Show this to you again real quick. Buffalo versus their opponent, Kent State. They have 18 wins against them already. It's the 18 date numerology. This game's on ESPN. ESPN equals 18, like upset. So Buffalo, a big favorite at home, but the upset riddle is on the board. The thing is, Buffalo can get their 24th win on the 24 date numerology, and that would make Kent State 19-8, 19 the 8th prime. So it makes sense there. If I was going to bet on this game, I'd bet on Kent State to cover. That's what I would do. Yeah, still iffy. Iowa equals 21. We're waiting for them to get that 21st win as the 21 seed. They failed to do it on a date with 21 numerology just days ago. If Iowa loses, they'll be 9-7 in the Big Ten. And the reason that matters is because Hawkeyes equals 97. So danger here. There wasn't anything in the series record. If Iowa wins, they'd be 10-6 in the Big Ten in their 16th game. Remember, when you write out 6, it equals 16. So I might shy away from that game too. Just because something's up with Iowa and not getting that 21st win. I mean, they got to get it eventually, but I just wonder what's going on for sure. And it makes me a little bit nervous that they could fall to 9-7 in the Big Ten and Hawkeyes is 97. All right, basketball. Yesterday everything we expected went the way it was, so I'm hoping maybe that's a sign things are back to normal in basketball. But let's review it. Wizards can get the 53rd series win against the Hornets on the 53rd day of the year. Hornets could fall to 19-10 at home. 29th home game, 29 the 10th prime. We'd have our prime number relationship. So edge to Wizards there. The scare for the Wizards is staying at 24 wins on the 24 date. But I think that 53rd series win is juicier. Pelicans Pacers. With a Pelicans loss, they get their 34th. Indiana equals 34. Pacers equals 26. Their record would be 26-34. They'd have 23 losses, 9 wins, 23 the 9th prime away. So I like the Pacers. Bulls Magic. Likely outcome, Bulls get the 22nd loss on the 22nd day of the year. Orlando equals 79 the 22nd prime. It's the 110th series match. Orlando also 110. The upset riddle here, though, is the Magic getting their 33rd loss. Bulls equals 33, so does Magic. That would make the Magic 16-16 at home on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. When you write out 16, it's 33. So Bulls do have a riddle to upset. Again, I think if you're going to bet on this game, I would bet on the Bulls to cover. I just really wonder about that 33. Orlando likely prevail, though. Spurs, Raptors, 46th series game. Raptors equals 46. It's 199 days after DeMar DeRozan's birthday, the old Raptor star. That's the 46th prime. Toronto Raptors equals 71. The 20th prime. Spurs can get the 20th away loss. Raptors can stay at 16 losses on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. The only thing concerning for the Raptors is staying on 24 home wins if they got upset. I don't think it happens. I think the Raptors get it done here. ESPN has Gematria at 27. Spurs can get the 27th loss. Pistons Hawks. I'd stay away from this game. I do favor the Hawks because it's the 59th game of the season, the 17th prime. Atlanta, Georgia equals 59. They can stay on 17 losses in this game. Give the Pistons the 18th away loss on the 18 date. But I could just as easily make that argument about 18 losses for the Hawks, so it's dangerous. If the Hawks do win, they stay at 39 losses, and their next game is against Arizona, one of 2 states that sums to 39. Timberwolves Knicks. Danger, danger again. 24 date. Knicks can get the 24th loss, or the Timberwolves can stay at 24 wins in the series. The next game against these teams is on a date with 25 numerology. The Timberwolves, if they don't win tonight, chalk it up for the next game as a W against the Knicks. They'd get their 25th series win on a 25-date numerology. So, Knicks have a chance here at the upset. That's for sure. But definitely dangerous. Clippers, Grizzlies, another dangerous game. If the Grizzlies lose, they have 37 losses and 16 home losses. Los Angeles, 37. Los Angeles also 53, the 16th prime. It's the 53rd day of the year. But realize, the Clippers could be 16-16. So the Grizzlies could also pick up their 24th win on a 24 date. I don't like it. I'd stay away. Nuggets can stay on 18 losses on the 18-date numerology. Mavericks equals 61, the 18th prime. Denver equals 31 and 32. The Mavericks can go from 31 losses to 32 losses against Denver. I think that's likely. So I think the Nuggets got the numbers to get it done here on the road. Jazz, Thunder. Jazz can get the 16th away loss on the 53rd day of the year, 53 the 16th prime. Thunder can get the 22nd conference win on the 22nd of the month where Utah equals 22. Oklahoma City Thunder is also 101, the 26th prime, and Jazz can get their 26th overall loss. So if I'm taking stabs in the NBA, I'm a little bit nervous about the Wizards-Hornets game, but I'm going with the Wizards. Not sure I would bet on it, but that's who I'm favoring. I think the Pacers got good numbers to beat the Pelicans. Bulls, Magic, ugh. You know, Magic, again, all the Vegas money is going to be on the Magic. We know this. They were one of the hottest teams going into the break. I see this as the kind of game where Vegas ruins bettors and makes them really scratch their head. But, yeah, I might just shy away from this game. And again, we're still waiting to see if the NBA is going to get back on course with, you know, games syncing up with date numerology. There's been a 3-week twilight zone period where date numerology has seemingly been meaningless, which I've never observed in all my years of doing this until the last 3 weeks before the All-Star break. Again, that started the weekend before the Super Bowl when things went to twilight zone mode. Spurs-Raptors, 46th series game. Typically, when the series syncs with the team, it's a good sign. I like the Raptors to get it done at home against the Spurs. Again, it is also the 110th game, and Orlando has the check with 110. But I still just wonder about that 33 thing. Hawks-Pistons, I'd stay away here, but I favor the Hawks for the reasons we discussed. Knicks-Timberwolves, I'd stay away from this too, honestly. Clippers-Grizzlies, I'd stay away from it. Nuggets, I'd take a stab at them to get the Mavericks. And I think the Thunder get it done against the Jazz. So 4, maybe 5 games worth taking a stab at in the NBA. Let's wrap it up here for now. Be back tomorrow at the same time. I'm going to put out a video a little bit later today looking at the early games tomorrow that will start before we do our decode. I'll look at NHL and college basketball and all that. So look for that video posted later today. But again, we just reviewed everything, so should be squared away there. All right, thanks as always, True Seeker. Same time tomorrow. Good luck. Have a great day.